Hello students and welcome back. So this week you'll be doing your first programming assignment using our coding environment codeboard.io. Now hopefully this past week you signed up for Codeboard and your account's all ready to go. So you'll be able to look at the assignment and complete it sometime this week. Now before we did that I wanted to go over just a little bit about what an assignment looks like in Codeboard. And we'll be using the example that we did in the video this past week, which is the area of a rectangle. Okay, so let's take a look here. So we have the area of a rectangle. It says for this assignment, this is just an example assignment, we will implement the algorithmic design example from our video this week to calculate the area of a rectangle. Your Python program will prompt the user to enter the rectangle dimensions, compute the area of the rectangle, and output the results. As we know from our experience and from the video this past week, the area of a rectangle is simply the length of the rectangle times its width. So your program, when you run it, should display something that looks like this. So we have here an example dialog. Now keep in mind, this is just an example, okay? Your program has to be able to accept any inputs from the user, all right? So this example, we printed out, as we mentioned in the video, first what the program would do. And we said, I will calculate the area of your rectangle. Please enter the length of the rectangle in inches. Now in this case, the user entered 5 for the length of the rectangle in inches. Now, different users might enter in different numbers there, but in this example, the user entered 5. All right. Your program is then going to prompt the user, please enter the width of the rectangle in inches. All right. So the width now is 6. All right. So we have a rectangle 5 inches in length and 6 inches in width. Then your program is going to calculate the area of the rectangle by multiplying 5 times 6. And it's going to print out the result, which is the area of the rectangle in square inches is 30. Okay, so that sounds pretty good, right? So note here, I said make sure you put your name in the comment section, which we'll see in just a moment, at the top, as well as your algorithm for solving the problem. Remember, this is an algorithms course, so don't forget to put your algorithm in there. And a short description of what the program does. Now, remember, you complete this assignment as well as any homework programming assignments by yourself. You can email me with questions if you have them. I'll be happy to reply as long as it's not late on Sunday night. I suggest you start this assignment early in the week. If you try to start it late in the week, like Sunday or whatever, you may not be able to complete it in time. So make sure you start early enough so you can ask me questions. Anyway, when you think you're finished with the program and you've written your code, you'll run any tests you can on it to make sure it's executing successfully. I'll show you how to do that. And then you can submit the program. So what you see on your screen when you do the program for this week look a little bit different than this. This is my environment here. Now you're going to click on Open in IDE. Okay. And when you do that, Codeboard will bring up something that looks like this. Okay. Now this is a little squished on our screen. Maybe I'll put this down just a little bit so we can see things a little bit easier. And now notice on the side here, there's an assignment.txt file. Now the assignment.txt file basically just includes the assignment you just saw. It's just here for your reference, okay? Your reference, okay? .json. Now leave that one alone, okay? Don't mess with that file. If you do, it'll mess things up. That's something that will not be covered in this course. Then there's main.py. Now main.py will have something that looks like this. This is a template, okay? This template at the top here has 3 sets of quote marks. and 3 sets of quote marks down here. And as you know from the videos these past couple weeks, anything in between those quote marks, it's just comments, which means that CodeBoard will not evaluate things between those quotes. So we're going to use that for documentation purposes. So here's the name of the program, area of rectangle. You're going to put your name in here, all right? And you're going to put a description of the program, what it does in here. And you're going to put your algorithm here. And then you're going to put your code either replacing this or just below this comment line, all right? So let's go ahead and give this a try here. All right, so this program is going to be written by me. So I will put my name in here. All right, you'll put your name there instead. Description of what the program does. And this program calculates the area of a rectangle. Now you can be a little more specific if you wish. Sometimes that's better, especially if you have some more information you want to include. But this is just an example, just so you can see what we want to put in these spots. So we already went through the algorithm in our video this week. So I'm just going to copy that in here. Actually, I'm going to speed it up here just a little bit by copying it from something off your screen. And so we'll put this in here. Now remember, our algorithm said we're going to ask the user for the length of the rectangle in inches. I'm going to read that user's response, whatever they type in. Ask the user for the width of the rectangle in inches. Read that response from the user. We're going to calculate the area of the rectangle in square inches by multiplying the length times the width. And then we'll display the answer, okay? All right, so how are we going to do this? All right. All right, so I'm going to put a comment in here. And again, you can, we can replace this if we want, or we can leave it there. Either way is fine. I will go ahead and replace it. And I'll say, as my own comment, just so that it's obvious what's happening, so to tell the user what the program does. All right. Now here we're going to use a Python print statement, as we've learned. And we're going to say, I will calculate, if I can type, calculate the area of your rectangle. Okay. Put it in quote marks here. As you know, that's how the print statement works, as we've learned from Dr. Severance. All right, and we'll put another comment in here. We'll say, get the dimensions of the rectangle from the user. All right, close enough. We're going to say length. Remember, we're going to use a length. Remember, we're going to use a called length. We don't want to use X, Y, Z, Z, Z. We want to use something that makes sense. In this case, we're going to say length, and we're going to prompt the user for the length, and we're going to convert it into an integer, as you've seen already in your book or in the videos. So we're going to use the input statement to get input from the user. We're going to say, please enter the length of your rectangle in inches, like that. Okay. That's to get the user's entry for the length. Similarly, we're going to say width equals, again, we're going to convert it to an integer. Remember, the input statement just returns a string, so we need to convert it to an integer so we can use it in our variable. We're going to say, please enter the width of your rectangle in inches. like that. And then we're going to do the dirty work. We're going to just fix this space here. I like to be a little bit neater. Put a space in there. All right, so now we're going to do the dirty work here. We're going to calculate the area of the rectangle. And in this case, all it is let's say area, which is the new variable. Now we have three variables so far. We have length, width, and area. So we're going to say area equals the length times, oops, I've got to use a star here, times the width. Okay, so now we have a variable called area that has what we want. It's the area of the rectangle. So now what we're going to do, we're going to output the result. Okay, so we're going to say print to display it to the user. I'm going to say the area of your rectangle in square inches is, and I'm going to print out the area there. Okay, so that's our program. Now, hopefully I didn't make any errors. It wouldn't surprise me if I did. It's easy to make simple typographical errors. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm going to move this up a little bit now so we can see the output down here. So what do you do now? All right, so now you're going to hit the run button. Okay, I'm going to say run, and it comes up here just like we told it to. I will calculate the area of your rectangle. And it says, please enter the length of your rectangle in inches. All right, so your input goes down here, not up by the word inches, and we'll enter in what our example was before. So we'll type in a 5 here. Then it comes up and says, please enter the width of your rectangle in inches. All right, this time we'll type in a 6. And your program, which is working correctly, which is great, says the area of your rectangle in square inches is 30. Now let me just run one more example just to make sure you understand that we don't always use 5 and 6. Okay, we'll use whatever the user wants to use. So this time I'll try it with 8 for the length of the rectangle in inches. And now it wants the width, under 9. And 9 times 8 is 72. So it's working correctly for that one as well. So you should always test your program with a few different examples, a few different runs, and make sure it works okay. Now, once you're finished with this, there's usually a submit button right up here. Okay, I don't have it on my screen because I didn't enable submit yet. So it's kind of my bad here, but you will have a submit button up here. So once you're satisfied with your program, you know that you've entered in your name, the description, your algorithm, everything's all ready to go. You'll hit that submit button and it will send it to me for grading. Okay, so that's the basic idea. So when you're doing the volume of a box this week, you'll do it very similar to this. In fact, if you follow this design, you know that the volume of a box just has one more dimension to it. So pretty easily adapt this program to the program for this week. So again, if you have any questions, you can shoot me an email, coilb@smcsc.edu. I'll see if I can get back to you. But please recognize that I'm not always immediately available on weekends. And so try to get your questions in earlier, or you may not be able to get in touch with me. So start this program early. If you do it early and you have any questions, you can ask me. It's not too difficult to get 100 on this program. They get a little harder later, but right now the volume of box is not too bad. Anyway, I hope you have a great week, and we'll hopefully see you soon. Bye now.